Hello there lovely people, it's Alex from Nintendo Life here, and today we're going to be talking about what Nintendo might be doing for their next handheld console. Now, I'd like to start off by saying that this is all purely speculation. We're not basing this on any sort of ideas or news that we've got. This is just all guesswork, looking at Nintendo and how they've been producing their handhelds and how they might continue to do so. Right, with that boring disclaimer out of the way, let's get straight into it, shall we? Now, one thing that I think is very likely for Nintendo to do in their next console is I think there's going to be a similar architecture between the handheld and the home console so that there's more compatibility between the two. This idea mainly spawns from Nintendo announcing ages and ages ago that their handheld and home console divisions have been grouped together, conglomerated if you like, into one big unit. Now, some people have speculated that means that the next console will in fact be a sort of a hybrid between a handheld and a home console, maybe with some sort of dock that allows you to get extra power from the unit, but you can take it away. Basically, it's something that I'm going to discuss in a later video this week, so keep your eyes peeled for that. Now, one thing that Nintendo have been slated for recently is the fact that they have not adopted capacitive touchscreens. Now, for anyone who doesn't know, there are basically two kinds of touchscreen out there on the market at the moment. There is a third kind, but nobody really uses it because it's weird. And the two kinds are capacitive touchscreens, which are, involved in iPads and things like that. Basically a flat surface that reacts to the electricity in your finger, and so the screen reacts. And there are resistive touchscreens, is where you have two layers and you touch the top layer and the bottom layer recognises where it's been touched and it works like that. And the latter is what Nintendo have been using for a long time, and they still currently do on the new Nintendo 3DS. And there is a good reason for that. Resistive touchscreens are not only much cheaper to produce, but also they are much more hard-wearing. Nintendo have always taken into account the hardiness of their units, and their audience is broad. That includes children, so if children drop them, they want them to still continue to work. Until capacitive touchscreen technology becomes a little bit better and a little bit more hard-wearing, Nintendo aren't going to adopt it. At least I don't think so. Could be proven wrong. Capacitive touchscreens are also considerably less accurate, and as such, with Nintendo's backwards compatibility, they don't want to try and put a sort of a blocker in the way where you have to actually touch the screen or use one of those funny rounded end styluses for the games that perhaps use more precision in previous games on the 3DS or the original DS. And that's another thing I think we can definitely expect, backwards compatibility with the 3DS, which means that not only will it be compatible with the 3DS, but also the DS, and the Game Boy Advance, and the Game Boy Color, and the Game Boy Original. Honestly, it's mad how backwards compatible these handhelds are. It really is absolutely fantastic, and I think Nintendo would be mad not to include the backwards compatibility in their new unit. Now, Nintendo is renowned for being innovative with their design and new gameplay ideas, so I think we can definitely expect to see something a bit new, a bit fresh. We got the 3D with the 3DS touchscreen, big gamepad controller with the Wii U. I think we can expect to see something else a little bit unexpected. I think we can also expect the new handheld to be a little bit bigger than the new 3DS. Maybe the size of the new 3DS XL, maybe something in between. But basically, technology seems to be getting bigger, and people like these big, large screens, clarity, things like that. So I think it may be a little bit bigger as well, and have a better resolution. That is one of the biggest complaints with the 3DS, is that it has quite a low resolution. Doesn't really bother me, but that seems to be what people want, so I think Nintendo are going to pander to that. Now, another possibility is that we're going to get something completely new and different, like the DS was to the original Game Boy Advance. Because the original DS, this little bad boy here, was never intended to usurp the GBA, the Game Boy line. It just happened to be so popular that Nintendo basically said, well, why not basically combine them into the DS and just have that one DS line? We could see something else, maybe a third tier as they refer to it, and then maybe that will usurp the DS line. I don't know, we'll just have to wait and see. Of course, what's more likely is we're just going to stick with touchscreen controls because they seem to be really big at the moment, and so I think maybe killing off the DS line, or at least trying to release something separate to it, may be not exactly beneficial. But I don't know. I would love to be surprised. I love new stuff. Basically, Nintendo, give me something new, something original, something that we don't expect, because that's much more exciting than any of the concept images you can find on the internet for the Nintendo 4DS. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, why don't you find that subscribe button and improve its resolution, and be sure to check out nintendolife.com for all sorts of lovely Nintendo related content. Thank you again for watching. Bye bye.